What's up, y'all? Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Hit the like button. Sub to the channel if you're not a member. Also hit them notifications too. Let me go ahead and cut right to the chase. Before I get this video started, let me go ahead and give a shout out to the whole entire Lions Den basketball and boxing community, and also want to give a shout out to all of my subs that's been rocking with me day ones, and as well as my new subs for the continued progression of this channel. Still gonna work hard for y'all. Not gonna stop dropping. Still gonna keep on pushing, regardless. Okay, and I want y'all to stay with me during this construction process. No pun intended. Um, and let's just go ahead and get right to it now. And like I said, forgive all the noise, man. It got a lot of stuff going on in the background in terms of them working on the building and stuff, man. All right. Now, as you know, Noah Lyles had been running his mouth lately in the Olympics, uh, being disrespectful towards pretty much the whole entire NBA family, but one, uh, Anthony Edwards, okay, in which he basically said that Anthony Edwards uh, hasn't won anything, okay. He hasn't won anything in so many words or whatever, and you know the comments and everything. I'm not gonna say word for word what Noah Lyles had to say or whatnot. But pretty much it was disrespectful, and some people uh, looked at Noah Lyles as you have the audacity to criticize, um, NBA players and everyone else when you still got some work to do yourself, pretty much. As a matter of fact, one could argue that you underperformed overall in the Olympics. Okay, yeah. Now, yes, you did end up winning, in capturing the gold in the 100 and everything, but that doesn't give you the right to sit there and throw Anthony Edwards under the bus by saying that okay he didn't win the championship or anything. But Tyreke Hill of the Miami Dolphins, uh, arguably, I would say top one, uh, maybe top three in the league if you really wherever you want to place them. Some people have uh, Jefferson as number one. Some people got Tyreek Hill as number one. Some people even got CD Lamb and a couple of others up there. But pretty much Tyreek Hill is a top tier talent, top tier athleticism. Uh, he went on record to defend Ant-Man and spoke up pretty much for all NBA stars and basically called out Noah Lyles and said that he has no reason to talk about another sport, and said that he pretty much needs to stay in his own lane and mind his own business. I got to give a salute to Tyreek Hill because Tyreek Hill was 100% correct, and I've been saying this. I've been saying this a lot. Listen, man, athletes are very, very upset at what Noah Lyles said, um, and how he came at particularly Anthony Edwards. Now we know the other stuff that he's said in the past, but see, that's the problem with some of these guys, man, is not being able to show each other the the proper respect. I like it when other guys from other sports they give their just due to other sports because they know that there are football players that the majority of them can't do what basketball players do. I mean, they probably could, but they couldn't do it at that level. And then vice versa, there are basketball players that definitely can't do what football players do, and so on and so forth. When we talk about other sports and stuff, if you're in your lane, you stay in your lane. Now, the other thing that I also saw too is Tyreek Hill did mention because the reporter asked him if he could beat Noah Lyles, and he said he could beat Noah Lyles in a race. Uh, and he said that he wouldn't beat him by much, but he could beat him. I would put my money on Tyreek Hill. I would put my money on Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is fast, man. Tyreek Hill is fast, and Tyreek Hill has performed, and Tyreek Hill is athletic. Tyreek Hill is not no slouch by any means. Now, I mean, look, to give Noah Lyles some credit, man. I mean, he is an Olympian and everything, but I'm willing to bet my money on Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill would put up a good race. I don't think that Noah Lyles would like blow him out by much, but that's neither here nor there. That's just something that I did want to throw in there. But Tyreek Hill, salute to him, man, because a lot of athletes are feeling this way. What you supposed to do in a situation like this, man, is you supposed to really show your support, to another guy that does not play the sport that you play or does not do what you do. We know that Noah Lyles can't do what Anthony Edwards does on the basketball court. So why are you even talking? Why are you even talking? Why are you even saying anything? If anything, you should be like, you know what? Um, I know that I'm not as talented in that particular sport, but I give him salute. I salute him to the utmost because it's something that I can't do. There's no harm in saying that, but you got to realize that you have some people out here where their egos are just through the roof, that they want to try to get one up on every single thing, and it just doesn't work like that. Noah Lyles was wrong for what he said, and I really feel that Tyreek Hill coming in and stepping in and defending Anthony Edwards, that says a lot. And it also says a lot about how a lot of other players are feeling. Now, I don't agree with what Tyreek Hill uh, does, some of the things that he does, off the field and everything. But Tyreek Hill, he does have the right to speak out and say something about this. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that he took it personal, because it's like, how are you gonna sit up here and you're gonna criticize a guy, Anthony Edwards, who does work hard? Okay, it'd be different if you were criticizing him and Anthony Edwards was out there partying. Anthony Edwards was out there drinking. Anthony Edwards, not to say that he's not. I don't know his life or anything like that, but it'd be different if Anthony Edwards was out there causing trouble, constantly not backing up what he says on the court. It'd be different if he was doing it. But Anthony Edwards, in his young career, is doing that. So you shouldn't have anything to say. If anything, you should be saluting him, because y'all are both young. Anthony Edwards is young. Y'all are a part of this generation. When we talk about Tyreek Hill, when we talk about Anthony Edwards, and when we talk about Noah Lyles, what's up with it, Ted? I see you in the building. So I salute to Tyreek Hill for coming out and defending Anthony Edwards and pretty much a lot of the NBA players on how he feels. Stay in your lane. Track is for track. You need to be worried about, you know, your little beads in your hair and doing all this other stuff that you're doing for social media and stuff like that. That's what you need to worry about. Worry about coming to the Olympics 100%. Worry about not running your mouth. Worry about being resilient like a Sha'Carri Richardson is. That's what you need to be worried about. But instead, you worried about Ant-Man, who's doing the thing. Listen, a lot of people are jealous of Anthony Edwards. You know why? Because Anthony Edwards, they know what's about to come. Um, a lot of LeBron fans are probably feeling salty because they know that the end is near. Okay, and they know that Anthony Edwards has the potential to be the face of the league. Listen, you're probably just mad because Anthony Edwards is getting the shine right now. They're talking about him being a potential face of the league. They're comparing this man to Jordan and Kobe. I mean, hell, you got a reason to be jealous. You know what I'm saying? Don't be jealous. Don't hate on him. You know what I'm saying? If he did not make the finals, you act like Jordan came in making the finals. You act like every single player, with the exception of a couple, Magic Johnson, he went to the finals his first year and everything. But everybody is not blessed to do that. He's not blessed to do that. So I salute Tyreek Hill for coming out and standing on business. Tyreek Hill stood on business. You don't have to like Tyreek Hill, what he does. I don't agree with everything that Tyreek Hill does. But I'm willing to bet my money that Tyreek Hill could give Noah Lyles a run for his money and possibly do the unthinkable and actually win. Matter of fact, I would like to see Tyreek Hill go out and run in the Olympics for 2028. So Tyreek Hill, if you listening to this, you know what I'm saying? If you hear this, hey, I'm vouching for you. I'm vouching for Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? I might be a prisoner of the moment when he did say that he could actually beat Noah Lyles. I might be the prisoner of the moment, but I'm not going to sit up here and act like Tyreek Hill is going to get blown out. Tyreek Hill is fast, man. He's fast and quick. That's why he's, top receiver in the league besides Jefferson. My money is on Tyreek Hill. I guess it's because you know what I'm saying. I'm being a fanatic, but nah, man. Salute to Tyreek Hill, man, for just standing on business. For him, like I said, man, apologize about the noise, y'all. Salute to Tyreek Hill, man, for standing on business, man, and coming to the defense of Anthony Edwards or whatnot. Because, like I said, man, Anthony Edwards, he was just out there, just like anybody else, working hard. He's around a lot of future Hall of Famers, some of the best to ever do it in the game. Have an opportunity to learn. He's gonna come back. Might come back to the Olympics in 2028. Who knows? Within that time frame, he'll probably be at the top of the league. Hey, you never know. Within the next 4 years, he might win a championship. You never know. I'm not saying that he will, but I say you never know. At the rate that he's going on, with his determination, with everything that he's been doing, with how he's coming in and kicking ass and taking names, you never know, man. You never know. But Noah Lyles, that's the level that you need to be on. You're mad because Sha'Carri, they rather talk about Sha'Carri Richardson, or they rather talk about Gabby Thomas. They rather talk about, you know what I'm saying, Steph Curry. They rather talk about some of these other guys that were dominating the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just call it what it is, man. They weren't really talking about you that much. They talked about you here and there. They weren't talking about you that much. The only time they were really talking about you, man, is when you ran your mouth. And then when I reported it, I tried to show some sort of love or whatever. But man, I could see now why people don't really. I try to let you slide with the statements you said a few years back. You know what I'm saying? I tried to, let you live a little bit, man. But on this one right here, now I see why a lot of people don't f with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Besides the painting your nails and Worried about getting your hair did and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you're a disgrace. You know what I'm saying? You are a disgrace. Uh, you are you sat up there. Like, now look, I know people get sick and all this other stuff, but karma karma hits people. You should not have anything to say to anybody. You should not have. Yeah, you're a disgrace to the country. You like your type of kind is the one that's destroying and making us divided. Believe it or not. Besides the violence and stuff like that. That's how you think. If anything, you should be like, look, salute the ant. If you think that you could beat him, or if you think that you better than him, go. Matter of fact, go guard him. You might be fast on the basket, like on the track and field, but you won't be. Look, there's basketball fast, and then there's Olympic track fast. You won't be basketball fast, man. Don't matter. Anthony Edwards will murk you. Can you imagine him trying to face up with Anthony Edwards out on the perimeter? And believe it or not, Anthony Edwards is fast too. You act like Anthony Edwards is slow. Anthony Edwards is fast too. Don't forget, Anthony Edwards did play football. Anthony Edwards did play football. He knows the gridiron. He knows speed. So you're not talking about a guy that just he just pity pats on the floor or nothing like that. No, he gonna get right past you. So if you really think that you're better than him, go guard him. If you really think that you could get to a finals, go ahead and go try out for the NBA. That's what I be telling everybody. Everybody thinks, they give all these guys criticism. Oh, he's trash. He can't do this. He ain't never made it to the finals. He ain't never did this. He ain't never did that. Go guard them guys. Now, when I critique a guy and I'll be like, okay, yeah, well, LeBron 4-6 in the finals and Curry is, he won 4. And he won more than he lost or something like that. That's a different type of criticism. But I ain't gonna you're never gonna hear me on here trashing the players. You know what I'm saying? Because they in the league. You not. You know what I'm saying? They playing in front of thousands of people, millions of people. You not. No allowed. You race. That's it. You stay in your lane. You stay in your lane. That's it. Don't try to get in the basketball lane. Don't try to get in the football lane. Don't try to get in, tennis, volleyball, swimming. You know what I mean? Any type of sport, you stay in your lane. And even I got to give a shout out to the men's basketball team. They were showing love to the track team. They were showing love to the women's team and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should be, y'all. It's supposed to be united. United we stand, divided we fall. But it looks like united, united. We want to hate on each other, and divided. The snakes just continue to go ahead and go on top of each other, regardless of whatever, and who's going to be that biggest snake that comes on top. And that's what I believe Noah Lyles is. That's what I believe he is. That's what I believe the type of mentality he has. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, I'm all for competition. I'm all for competition. Yes, like Tyreke said, he could beat Noah Lyles. That's how you do it. That's what you should say. You should be like, yeah, I could beat you or something like that. But no, if you think that you a bad man on the gridiron and can go out there, see, Usain Bolt, he found out really, really quick that he wasn't no damn football player. You know what I'm saying? And he admitted, hey, I cannot play this game. You could be fast on running track and everything like that. Like, I know guys that were, world class sprinters and everything like that. But then when they play, try to get out there and they try to play basketball, man, they were not good at all. And that's why, like, I stuck to my lane. I couldn't run like the 100. I think I tried to run the 200. There were guys that were faster than me in the 200. I stuck with the race that I felt like I could win, and that was the 400. Okay, and then I stuck with hurdles too, and even with hurdles, I struggled a little bit with hurdles too, cause I I went out for track. It was what my junior year. I was racing with guys that had been doing track since they were young. You know what I'm saying? So for me to come out there and be like, oh yeah, I could run against these guys and I could beat these guys and stuff like that. You know, I didn't even have no spikes. I didn't even have any track shoe, track cleat. I didn't even have none of those. I went out there because they told me to go out there, and I went out in some. I raced on the track in some like I only had some basketball shoes. I didn't, they didn't have my size until the coach they finally were able to give me some or whatever. Cause you had to have like your own pair and stuff. Yeah, man, I remember this guy, man. He played for he went on and got a scholarship for Wyoming. Then he went. He played a couple years in the NFL. Man, they put me up against this guy because the reason why they chose me for track or whatever is because they say, okay, you'll be good for football, you'll be good for running track too as well. But I had to be. This guy blew me out of the water, like, and this was a 200. Man, he was so far ahead of me. All of the guys that played basketball, they was laughing at me and everything. But see, yeah, you could run against guys on the basketball court and be running suicides and blow their ass out the water and stuff like that, man. But going up against guys that have been running track since they were young, guys that play receiver, guys that play running back, that's a different level of speed, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna sit up there and say, "Oh yeah, I'm better than that next man." I'm gonna try my best to beat them, and then I could say, "Okay, yeah, they better than me." And that's what Noah Lyles has to do. You can't sit up there and say, "Oh yeah, you ain't never went to a championship. Oh yeah, you only made it to the Western Conference Final. Oh yeah, you ain't got no rings, all this other stuff." But once you go out there, you stay in your lane. You stay in track. You need to stay what you successful at, unless you gonna go out there and you actually gonna try to play. That's why, like, I didn't really. What happened to Nate Robinson? I give Nate Robinson his credit. Nate Robinson thought he could do pretty much everything. Nate Robinson could play football. Nate Robinson, I think he did run track. Nate Robinson could play basketball. And then Nate Robinson said, "Yo, yeah, I could box." I respect Nate Robinson for getting in the ring. He got laid out, you know what I'm saying? But I respect him because he went out there instead of just talking. Yeah, like, you don't have a bag. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit up there, man. I found out early, and I found out in football. Football was way different than basketball. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, nah. Yeah, I do this for 1 year, and then after that, I'm out of here. But I like the experience because it made me appreciate guys that do play football, guys that do put in that work. Because everybody act like football players, they just, oh, they lazy and all this other stuff. Nah, football is a test of will. It's a lot mental, like a lot of sports is. It's really more mental because you got to stand. I know the coach that we had you out in the hot sun. You had to keep your helmet on. You had to the varsity. They got to sit or whatever, but the JV had to they had to stand and everything. You couldn't. If you did this, you know what I'm saying, the whole team was running. If you did that, the whole team was running. There was no, there was hardly any ventilation in the weight room. I remember that. Like, they kept the weight room hot on purpose. They had water in there, but and then they would turn on the fan or whatever. But then other than that, they would keep the fan off. So it made me appreciate how hard those guys work, man. It's a test of will. But spinning the block back to what I was talking about when it came to Tyreek Hill defending Anthony Edwards, man. I'm glad that he did that. You know what I'm saying? And Tyreek Hill, he feels that. I'm glad he came to the defense of Anthony Edwards, and the reason is because you have the audacity to sit up here and just think that basketball is a cakewalk, or football is a cakewalk, or this sport is a cakewalk. None of those sports are cakewalks at all. Especially if you're doing it at a high level, they might make it look easy. It's just like I think the brother Tyreke for TV, shout out to him. He was saying that Steph Curry might make it look easy, putting the ball in the basket and stuff like that. But do you know how the degree of difficulty it is? And then you're shooting. I think the tallest guy I probably shot over was probably maybe 7 foot at the most. I've never in my life shot over a guy 7'4". Steph Curry is 6'2". 6'2", right? He's shooting over Victor Wembanyama, who is 7'4", with the wingspan of damn near 9 foot. Do you know how hard that is? Like, and he makes it look so like with no effort. Effortlessly, man. With no effort at all. So, shout out to Tyreke Hill, man. Um, like I said, man, I don't agree with everything that Tyreke Hill does. Yeah, his workouts are legendary, man. And we gotta start giving. Everybody wants to constantly. They've sat up there. They've given LeBron his just due. They talk about him 24/7, 365 or whatnot. I remember time when they were constantly talking about Steph Curry, and people were getting sick of him talking about Steph Curry all the time. I remember that time. I remember that was a time when people were, getting jealous because, Steph Curry would shoot too much. What happened to them days? I remember when, they were tired of talking about the Splash Brothers and everything like that. Now they appreciate the Splash Brothers. They appreciate the Warriors dynasty. You know what I'm saying? They want to talk about something new. They were tired of talking about Cavs and Warriors and Cavs. I remember that time. We lived through that time. There was a time, Steph Curry pretty much was dominating in 2010. I mean, we ain't gonna talk about that, but we're not talking about Steph Curry. What we talking about Ant-Man, we talking about Tyreek Hill, and we talking about Noah Lousy. That's what he is, Noah Lousy. Now, I'm not gonna sit up there and say, "Oh yeah, I'm better than Noah Lyles." Oh yeah, you only got this type of medal, or you didn't. You Steph Curry has folks hating on his light skin. Yeah, man, light skin, dark skin, brown skin. You know what I'm saying? Green skin. You know what I'm saying? Man, he could be motherfucking white. Larry Bird is white. I got him as my small forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, Reggie Miller was light skin, and Reggie Miller would light your ass up, man. Light bright will light your ass up, man. I'll pick Curry up in a heartbeat. Now, one thing that we're not gonna sit up here and do, we're not gonna sit up here now. Shout out to Player's Choice, but I think some people had the audacity to sit up here, and there's some people at the prison of the moment talking about Steph Curry is better than Magic Johnson. I ain't going that far. I ain't going that far, all right? Steph Curry ain't better than Magic Johnson, all right? He's not. He probably, of course, he a better shooter. You know what I'm saying? But overall player, nah. You still gotta give it to Magic. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Steph Curry is that guy. He does have a case for players of the generation. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, do I think that he's a some people have this argument about Steph Curry versus what you said prime Magic, say the NBA Curry. Yeah, well Jordan took it to another level, and Curry, uh, yeah, a lot of people say that he changed the game. I mean, I have my feelings about that. I've talked about that before. But yeah, he did have everybody, for the most part, trying to shoot threes. He had people that thought that, man, he had people that had no business being out there shooting threes. Like Brook Lopez in the beginning, Brook Lopez was never shooting no threes. Then all of a sudden, Brook Lopez out there shooting threes. we knew Brook Lopez had no business being out there. But he worked on it, and he's become one of the best shooting big men. I think at one time he was leading the big men in 3-point percentage at one point. Yeah, Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin actually he improved, man. Shout out to Blake Griffin though, man. He retired and whatnot. I remember we had an opportunity. I met Blake Griffin. I didn't meet him, but I met his brother because he got a brother, man. And then it was his mother and his father, man. They came down. It was it was like at the panhandle of Texas somewhere. We saw them. We actually saw them, but Blake wasn't with them, no. But it was his brother. I forget his brother's name. What's his brother's name? I forgot his brother's name, man. But yeah, it was people were running up. They thought it was Blake, but it was the brother, and then it was his mom and his dad or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I think we was like at some sort of outlet or something like that. I forgot, man. But yeah, man. Uh, yeah, Tyreek Hill, man. Shout out to him, man. Yeah, they're twin. If you look at their, yeah, they don't look alike though. Like from afar, yeah. Like from afar, yeah. You could get you could get them mistaken or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They both light skinned or whatever. But but man, when you'll know that that's not Blake Griffin, man. I used to like Blake Griffin's game, man. When he first came in, man, people could say what they want, man. Blake Griffin was killing when he first came in, bruh. Blake Griffin, dog. I was about to put Blake Griffin. If he'd have kept doing what he was doing and didn't get hurt, but see, him and Derrick Rose had the same problem. They didn't know how to land. Listen, man. I forget what I think I think it's Carcino. Shout out to Carcino for life. Shout out to Carcino for life. He's not lying when he talks about this right here. when you go to these camps, because I've been in numerous of camps, man. One of the first things that they teach you is how to land. You learning how to land in basketball is very crucial because it can save your joints, um, and it could prevent a lot of injuries. You got to know how to land. Derrick Rose had a problem with knowing how to land, and so did Blake Griffin. And that's why, like, when I knew when he did that dunk where he got hurt, it didn't look like he got injured, but after he stopped, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. He did like a powerful dunk one time, man. You know how he used to dunk ferocious, and I remember the way he landed, and he just paused for a brief second, and that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, his career is on a downward spiral, man. And then you notice everybody was like, man, well, why don't Blake Griffin just take it to the bucket, da 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 da? Because he's starting to find out, man. Man, your twitch muscles and stuff like that. If you keep on doing those dunks, 'cause Blake Griffin won a slam dunk contest. Man, Blake Griffin was dunking on people. Like Blake Griffin was doing some athletic shit in the air, man. Blake Griffin was catching that. He was catching lobs, man. Like, Lob City, no pun intended. He was catching stuff off the rim. Like Blake Griffin had athleticism, man. Shoot, like Vince Carter type athleticism, Anthony Edwards type athleticism. Blake Griffin was that guy as far as athletic, and that's why, like, when I looked at him, I saw Charles Barkley, Karl Malone. I would say more so Karl Malone a little bit, because Karl Malone was athletic as hell. Even though I don't like that dude, Karl Malone was athletic as hell, man. Come through that lane, powerful. Yeah, man. Like, but he you know just started to go a downward spiral, man. I hated it, man. I hated it because he had a potential to be Hall of Fame, man. Hall of Famer. I would have liked to see Blake Griffin win a championship. You know what I'm saying? I always liked Blake Griffin's game. To me, he had a cleaner, like, I'm not taking nothing away from Charles Barkley, but Blake Griffin, his game was cleaner, if that makes any sense. Like Charles Barkley had a lot of times you were back to the basket or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And boom, that's why I kind of compared him more so to Karl Malone. Karl Malone had like the mid range and stuff like that. Blake Griffin he was a little bit more versatile. He could handle the rock, and he didn't always rely on a pick and roll and stuff like that situation. Actually, Blake Griffin could actually create his own shot, um, more so than a lot of the other players, man. But he started to go on a downward spiral, man. And I hated the way he went out because I really wanted to see him get a chip before he left, man. Yeah, but Blake, you mentioned Blake Griffin, or you punch in Blake Griffin, you're gonna see highlights of him dunking on people, yoking on people. You know what I'm saying? Two-handed, one-handed, off of one leg, power dunker, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He did it all, man. Matter of fact, he was the one. What he did? He dunked over the car. I think he did the car too with him and Baron Davis. Well, it was over the hood, but yeah, 360 windmills, man. Yeah, man. Blake Griffin was that guy, bro. Like when he first came in. But the knock on him was that they just couldn't get it done when they talked about Lob City, him and DeAndre Jordan and CP3 and stuff like that. But nobody really got along. He wasn't getting along with Chris Paul like that. So yeah, man. Uh, Salute to Tyreek Hill, man, for like I said once again standing on business. Uh, you gotta watch what you say, man. About a lot of these players, man. You, these guys, man, they act like these guys don't put in the hard work and stuff. And it's sad. It's coming from an athlete in Noah Lyles. He should understand the type of work that it takes. Yes, there's a little luck involved, and yes, some natural God-given athleticism does play in a factor. But for the most part, man, it is hard work. You know what I'm saying? You do definitely got to put in the work. But hey, y'all, man, I appreciate y'all pulling up, listening to me. You know what I'm saying? Whoever was listening, appreciate Ted pulling up, bro. If you'd like to donate to the channel, my cash app is straight to the point 77. Salute to the whole entire Lions Den basketball as well as the boxing community. Until then, man, it's straight to the point, and I'm out, y'all.